Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. In the last hours, the departmental government announced modifications to measure restriction and the circulation of motorcycles on December 8 and 9. And the director of the ICBF in the archipelago announced the campaign that the institution is implementing during the end of year.
Luis Viloria Howard, acting as the interim governor, makes important announcements regarding the modification of the motorcycle traffic restriction this December 8 and 9 of 2021. It was defined that the restriction will apply between 12:30 a.m. until 5 a.m.
Dr. Everett Harkins has listened to the cries of the community, especially the productive sector, and has decided that the restrictions that will operate during the 8th and 9th of this December will be from 12:30 a.m. to 5 in the morning. We want to remind the community that these restrictive measures, especially to the motorcyclists, are due to the number of accidents that year after year and even during these months have occurred in different sectors. Saving lives is at disposition of us all, of the governor, of the police commander, and we all have to support these initiatives.
On the other hand, the Colombian Family Welfare Institute has announced its end-of-year campaign called You Are the Party, Not the Gunpowder. In this regard, the director of the institution gave details.
Los protagonistas del fin de año y del...
The protagonists of the end of the year and of the new year are the children, adolescents, families, and all adults sharing in family. We do not need gunpowder to enjoy, and what we intend with the help of the National Police and civil actors is to prevent children, adolescents, and obviously adults from being burned. We have more than 15 years with 0 people burned, and the idea is that this year, 2021, and the beginning of 2022, because the holidays go until January, we do not have any burns.
Likewise, it is worth noting that the community in general be aware of the importance of continuing with the application of biosecurity measures during the festivities at the end and beginning of the year as a mechanism to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
The Administrative Court declared an inadmissible the elections file against the Departmental Assembly for the alleged violation of rights to applicants for the position of controller. Escorzo Christopher announced that he is waiting for the departmental government to convene extraordinary sessions to continue with the process.
Through Ruling 117 of 2021, the Administrative Court declared inadmissible the request for protection of the fundamental right to elect and be elected filed by Ms. Ereona Williams de Reed and Mr. Norman Antonio Ballestas Pedrosa due to the existence of other ordinary and extraordinary means of defense. Therefore, the Assembly was ordered to continue with the election process of the Departmental Controller of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina for the 2022 through 2025 period.
We had two tutela that two of the person that was in the list for the controller, they went to a procedure with two tutela, and the judge stopped the process. And after the judge finished studying the tutela, the judge said that the tutela was in precedent. That means that, and the judge give us order to continue the process. And he said we can continue the process with the interview and the election of the controller. So it would be the 10th of this month we having the interview, and the 14th the election for the controller.
According to the President of the Departmental Assembly, the entity acted in a transparent manner in the processes that have been carried out for the election of the leader of the control entity and will continue to do so.
And in the morning, the list of the winners of the elections for Youth Council on the island was announced. And here in Teleislas News, we will show you the young people who will be part of this important body of political control.
The National Registrar's Office announced the names of the winners of the Youth Council elections in the archipelago and who will make up this important participatory body. There were 14 candidates chosen by the young people of the island to be their voice before the departmental government during the 2022-2025 period. The Liberal Party won 2 seats, including Jana Fontalvo Manuel and Sebastián Cuadro Torres.
Bastante contento.
Quite happy for all the effort that was made. At the end, we are represented in 2 seats for the party. The truth is that we expected more seats, but 2 are not bad. We feel good, and the effort we made at the end, it was rewarded. The first thing would be to demand the governor's office to establish a space for the sessions. That is the first thing. This is not only our job, but of all the councillors. The general interest is that to sit down to agree with the government before the end of this year.
The Conservative Party had 6 seats, including Rodrigo Alvarino Berrío, Carla Gracia Villegas, Cristian Solano Gomez, Kimberly Torres Salto, and the last seat of this party has not yet been defined. On the other hand, the Cambio Radical Party obtained 5 seats with the following candidates: John Becerra Chico, Johanna Wilches, Giancarlos Julio, Miladis Mesino, and Kevin Montes de Oca. The One Rizal Corporation obtained 1 seat with candidate Arcal Walters. This is how the first Municipal Youth Council in the archipelago was composed.
And the strike that began in the morning hours by employees of the SENA continues, in which they are demanding better working conditions and improvements in the infrastructure of the campus.
With banners and chants, teachers and employees of the regional SENA in San Andres took the entrance of the institution to protest against the current administration of the entity, requesting improvements in the working conditions and the infrastructure of the academic campus.
We are determined to continue with our activity, which is to reach our objective, which is to ask the General Director to declare this administration groundless because we have been putting up with this for many years.
Since SENA will meet with the National Director of SENA, Carlos Mario Estrada, who will come to the archipelago to learn about the situation at the regional headquarters on the island. Brackman also confirmed that at this meeting they will present the problems of infrastructure and training that are occurring inside the academic center.
This week we are waiting for their visit, which will be on Thursday, in order to listen to our situation and the need for which we have to resort to these type of activities, and we will continue. The idea is that they know our position in this visit, to know that we are not in a disposition to conciliate and negotiate. The point is clear. This will not be a space to raise issues that we have already expressed. The infrastructure is in a delicate state. The work environment, which is added to this action, and the training part, which is of great concern.
Sinde Sena confirmed that if the resignation of the current director of the regional office of the islands is not achieved, which is the main point that they will present in their meeting with the director of the National Sena, they will enter into a permanent assembly with cessation of activities.
And in other news, the Chamber of Commerce of San Andres, seeking to continue reactivating the economy of the department, held an event to officially kick off the Christmas season in our island.
It was the Enjoy San Andres, an event that during the days 6th and 7th of December came with fairs and entrepreneurs of exhibition of products. In addition to great promotions in commercial establishment, from the Chamber of Commerce, they give us a balance of the event.
Yesterday we had the participation of 16 fair tables. Today we also had the participation of 24 enterprises that are less than 1 year old. Likewise, we had 16 fair tables plus 24 enterprises that are already established and have gone through a process of the Chamber of Commerce and that are in the Business Development Center and that today have a much more robust offer of products and services. The invitation is for us to meet here and stay tuned because at the new point we will have another musical presentation with typical dance and typical music. We have 3 musical groups on stage until 8:30. As the restriction measures have changed, we are going to do the Trasnochon, so everyone is invited to go downtown and visit the more than 91 commercial establishments that join the Trasnochon. They have incredible offers, so it is best to come down and see what we crave and buy.
During the Enjoy San Andres, there were also recreational activities such as toy library, inflates, and games for children. And today, hundreds of candles will be lit in the sector of the Canyon of Morgan to commemorate this day.
are the best sports of the island. Titanes defeated Caribbean Storm in the 5th game to advance to the final of the W Play League of the Colombian Professional Basketball. In a game that had an outstanding performance of the Panamanian Josimar Ayarza, who managed to contribute points in the paint and mid-range to add to the victory of his team, Titanes of Barranquilla, who in the 5th game, with the strategy of his coach Tomas Diaz, was able to overcome the Caribbean Storm to pass to the final round of the Colombian Basketball Tournament W Play League. This is what the coach of the Caribbean Storm, Fernando Tulo Rivero, said.
No, creo que arrancamos.
We've started badly. They scored 10 points in 2 minutes and then we started to catch up with them. It was an even game, but we found Ayarza on fire with many points. We got out of the script, and then when we were in front of the second half with several points, we stopped from scoring. I think the issue was that we weren't scoring against a zone defense that Titanes played at times, and most of the time they played 3 big ones, something that had not happened in the previous game. We were able to counteract it well with good movement. The truth is that we weren't moving the ball well as it is our custom. The truth is that we were not scoring at a good rate, and as I said, the offensive rebound were the 2 keys of the last quarter. I will say that.
Tomas Diaz, coach of Titanes of Barranquilla, also said,
Gracias a Dios.
Thank God we were able to meet the expectations of this project. I thought it was going to end a little tighter. The reading of the game was very clear. They had control of the paint, and we had problems to control that. I think that in the 3rd quarter, when we went to a zone, the game began to open up a little. We began to dominate the boards and it helped our offense. So I saw the players had a lot of order and patience for a comeback. Thank God, thank all those who are around us for this to happen.
With the strategy of coach Tomas Diaz, who maintained his philosophy including zone defense against the island team, Titanes of Barranquilla reached their 5th consecutive final in the Colombian Professional Basketball Tournament. Tomorrow the big final will begin between Titanes of Barranquilla and Cimarrones of Chocó Providence, who will play 5 games, and the winner of 3 will be the champion of this tournament. The island boxing prospectus Charnol Torres will travel to Barranquilla to integrate with the Colombian selected. The island boxer Charnol Torres will travel to the ceremony to be held in the city of Barranquilla, where the Minister of Sport plus Olympic medalists who were in Tokyo 2020, Juberheim Martinez and Ingrid Valencia, and also others will attend. Coach Nelson Manchego gave us more details.
Estoy muy contento, orgulloso de que
I am very happy and proud that our athlete Charnol Torres has been chosen to fight for a place in the Colombian national team, where we will be traveling tomorrow for the ceremony, where the athletes who represented us in Tokyo 2020, such as Juber Martinez and Ingrid Valencia, will be present, and we will be at that ceremony to get some new gear and to be representatives once again in our Colombian national team and position the name of our islands on high.
Me siento muy orgulloso de que haya sido convocado.
I feel very proud that I have been called to the Colombian boxing selection and can proudly present our department throughout Colombia.
Pride for our insular department is the boxer Charnol Torres, who seeks to once again position the colors of the insular department. Another that expressed himself is Charnol brother,